Do you ever have that feeling with certain people that they kind of got it in for you? You feel like there's certain people you really rather avoid, and you think, like, oh my goodness, got to see those people today. And you go, or you go somewhere, you go somewhere, and you don't know why, but when you go in there, it just feels a bit off, feels a bit, it's not quite right going in this place. It just feels a little bit like it's almost like, there's someone almost behind you and you're like this and you get this strange feeling and you're thinking like, is there some weird energy about me that I don't really like it very much? So to consider there. And as I say, there are times where you might have to go somewhere, might have to go like a meeting or something. And there's always those people you'd rather avoid, isn't there? You think like, oh, I've got to interact with these individuals. This could be at work as well. You got the boss. You think, oh God, I've got to go and see him or her about a certain issue, and you don't really see eye to eye. And thing about Reiki is that we can actually use that almost to shield ourselves from certain energies. You could call it protection if you want to, or you could just make sure you're kind of like in your zone, as I prefer to put it. I don't. The thing with there are sort of connotations with protection is it sounds a bit negative, and we are obviously using energy of kind of like a loving vibration. But there's no doubt at times we will be challenged for whatever reason, and we can certainly use Reiki to assist us. So today I want to show you 5 things that I think we should consider. And as always, with these kind of interactions with yourself, I encourage you to share me your own tips. Because whilst I will give 5, I have no doubt there's a lot of Reiki practitioners out there who say, well, Gary, actually, why don't you think about this, for example, or I have another suggestion here that you could use. Share your wisdom, please, because I encourage it. I certainly don't have all the answers, and these are just a few that some may well know. Some who do use Reiki will probably know most of these, but it's nice just to have a little reminder. And I also want to say as well, even if you're not attuned to Reiki, there are a few that may be of use to you. My personal favourite is the fourth one, but I would say those who aren't attuned to Reiki, the second, third, and fifth, things that I'm going to talk about today, I do believe you can certainly use yourself. And who knows, maybe the other ones, they may just pique your interest to maybe learn Reiki yourself. I'm sure that many people watching this video may well be Reiki master teachers themselves. I know I teach Reiki as well, and if you feel drawn to learn Reiki yourself, make it happen. Put those intentions out there, connect with somebody, and if you're in the Kent area, I'm more than happy to train with you. But who knows, you may be on the other side of the Atlantic, and if you put a little comment below, the fates have a funny way of conspiring to put you with who you need to be with. So consider that as well. But let's start off with the first one. The first thing that I would like to mention is an energy called Shoko Ray. I'm not going to draw the symbols here and now, but Shoko Ray is like an energy we can use quite often for protection. I almost see like the energy coming down, just connecting us to the earth, to the heavens, and it can certainly make a nice cleansing effect. So if the way I see it is like this, if we're nice and cleansed, if we're in a nice high vibration, which this energy can certainly help us with, it's very hard for a negative energy to come into that space. I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying it's difficult for it. So you have to be very determined to get past that barrier. And you'll often hear people who use the Shaka Ray energy um, using it specifically to help clear a space, but also keeping you safe as well. Putting a little beautiful golden barrier up it's difficult to overcome. I will say, when you're using these energies, try to keep it in a gold colour. It's a nice high vibration colour, and it will certainly help you with that. In case anybody's wondering what I'm talking about, Shaka Ray is a symbol that we can use in Reiki. It's a symbol that we can channel use in our practice and literally draw a symbol to clear a space or kind of like, keep ourselves nice and safe as well. It also is obviously used in healing for on a physical level, and sometimes other issues will arise as well that the chakra ray energy will assist with. But in this instance, we are talking about protection. I do honestly believe that chakra ray is a nice energy to kind of like bring to the party, bring that energy in to like push away what's not needed. The second one that I'm going to talk about, before I go on to the second one, I also like to say, if you're interested in a little bit of literature, I've done a little tiny little e-booklet. It's just a 1,500 words or so about the energy of never surrender. It's like I basically have a little discussion about sort of like how we can keep our vibration nice and high. If you'd like that, just put booklet in the comments, and I'll send you a little link to where you can interact, and I can then send it on to you. So do consider that if that is of interest to you. The second thing that I will talk about, though, as I was just about to say there, is surround yourself in a beautiful golden bubble of energy. Um, Now, for example, people might not want to go around casting symbols all over themselves, but just imagine, and this is, we could all do this, that energy comes in and just surrounds us with that golden vibration. And you can put some affirmations in to tell yourself, like, I'm going to stay in my nice calm space, my nice cool zone as much as possible. Now, of course, I'm not going to say this is a cure-all for everything, because if someone's determined to upset you, they will try to knock you off your perch a little bit. But if we can stay in that nice vibration as much as we can, we give ourselves the best chance of avoiding those sort of like moments where we're sort of like someone does invade on our space. So see yourself in a nice golden ball of energy, a nice sphere, and I can say to you, make some nice affirmations. Say, I am safe, I am happy, I am in calm, I am peaceful. And again, you just give yourself the best chance of dealing with certain individuals or energies or places that may be a bit challenging for you. So just see yourself in that space, nice friendly energy, and try and smile as well. Nice big smile. It makes a difference. It does elevate our mood, and we can certainly use it to our advantage. So really do use that sort of energy if you can. Now, the third one I'm going to mention right now is the energy of sending Reiki ahead to where you're going. So let's, for example, imagine you're going somewhere that you're feeling a little bit apprehensive about, and why not send some Reiki ahead? We can use that with the distant healing symbol, Honsha Shonin. You can send that ahead of yourselves. For those who don't know that symbol, you can just imagine that Reiki energy going to where it needs to. And if you don't know Reiki at all, again, just think to yourself, when I get to where I'm going, I'm going to visualize that place nice and peaceful, nice and relaxed. Everybody's kind of like on a natural high, for want of a better word. And I'm just going to go in there with the best intentions of kind of keeping my energy nice and secure. So again, that's quite useful for us as well. And this could be useful as well. Say, for example, some people who are into this line of work, they might want to explore old haunted buildings and stuff like that. And the trouble with doing that, there's some funny old energies about. So once again, just imagine you're sending that beautiful golden light to where you're going to push away anything that's not needed. Keep you safe as best you can. It's another nice thing we can certainly work on. And I do encourage us to do that where we can. And I'll say now, if you are watching this video and you're finding it's actually sort of like resonating with you, please do consider liking and subscribing. And check out some of my other content as well. I am building up pretty much a Reiki channel now, after starting with spirituality and a bit of poetry as well, because I love doing that. But I'm really niching down into Reiki as we go forward. And if that calls out to you, thinking, oh, I found a Reiki channel, quite like this guy, I'll like and subscribe to him. Obviously, if not, that's fine. There's plenty of other channels out there. I get that. But I'm just taking my own unique approach, and I'd love to have you on board. Okay, the fourth aspect that comes to mind is another symbol. One of my favorites, actually, is you can use this for protection if you want to, but for want of a better word. But for me, it's more clearing. It's like clearing a space. It's the Tibetan Daikonya. This is a Reiki master symbol, so I recognize that many of you will not understand this symbol, but obviously any master practitioners out there will appreciate. This is quite a nice energy that we can work with. I see it as nice and clearing. You can put it on yourself or in the area you're around, and it does work. I do find this does certainly lift the energy, gives a nice golden glow. Again, use gold. You can use black, visualizing black, but I find if you use gold, it uplifts the whole energy quite a few notches, I would say. So try to use that energy if you would. And again, see how that works for you. Maybe you've done this before. Maybe you've gone to certain places and you've actually could say to me, "Oh, actually, Gary, I've done this in the past, and it actually works rather nicely." Share those experiences with me, and it's just helps us so many ways if we can use the Tibetan Daikonya. So have a think on that and how that works for you. Now, as we come to the final thing that comes to mind, it really is when we get back home. So let's imagine you've gone somewhere and you put all that protection on, and it just hasn't worked. You've had a pretty bad time. You've done your best, but there are times when we will get challenged. You will get challenged. People will knock you off your pedestal. And so we come back, what do? We kind of like do a little bit self-restoration. So my fifth tip, my final tip, is when you get back to sort of like repair the damage, really. Give yourself some self-healing. Give yourself some self-healing. See that beautiful light from head to toe. Use whatever symbols come to mind if you know the symbols. I'll try to stay just to one symbol rather than mixing and matching too much. But again, we can use the tools we've got. Use the tools. I mean, so often we forget. You can come back and think like, oh dear, I feel so knackered, I feel so drained. Restore your energy. Restore that energy, get yourself back up again and sort of like ready for a brand new day. It does work. And obviously, again, for anybody that doesn't know Reiki, you can certainly have a nice little meditation, for example, a self-healing meditation. There's many on YouTube. Just go on there, look for a guided self-healing meditation. I have done a Reiki self-healing one. Maybe one day I'll do just a generic one for everybody. But like I say, there's plenty out there that you can find. Give them a go as well. And it just gets us restoration. And Reiki practitioners too, you could give yourself a full Reiki treatment. Or again, you could give yourself a nice Reiki meditation. Why not? You could use a certain symbol, maybe Shokurai, Seiheki, Daikonya, Hunches are shown, and if you wanted to, if it feels right, go for it. Trust your instincts and bring down that beautiful energy to give you a nice, how can we say, brushing away the dirt that you might have accumulated, beating certain energies or situations that may have come your way. These practices work, and it's probably probably so recommended by so many people out there. And today, it's my chance just to give you a little refresher, a little reminder that we got the ability to change things. And right now, again, if you're right at the end there and you'd like to share your wisdom, please do so in the comments. And today's little challenge for those who are still here and wondering what's this about, Gary? It's like you're in a secret club. Everybody else has gone there. You're in that special select group. And I would say put the keyword living, and I'll know you're in the elite team. Elite Reiki team, and much love and blessings to all of you Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, whenever you may see this or wherever you are in the world, from the USA to Australia to Russia, China, Japan, or wherever. Much love to all of you. Take care until the next one.